Welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sobolewo. This is a new mod map out from Tomix, 274.98 megabytes to download. There are 5 required mods which will download automatically. There's nothing in the build mode over and above those required mods. There are no custom crops. Contracts are available. As far as I can tell from the translation, Sobolewo translates to sable. I mean, you know the luck I've had with the Google Translate thing. There is a train top of the map that goes to Zolonka. Water is in front of us, so we have got NPCs on the map, and we start here at the start farm that you get on New Farmer. I am on New Farmer, and the map looks like this. So we do have some fields we start with as well. This is what the map looks like. I have to say, this is another one. It's stunning. It's picturesque. It's beautiful. It is a pros and cons map. More pros than cons, don't worry. I don't want people to go, oh, there's cons, I'm going. From my perspective, a couple of things, being that if you're doing, not even if you're just doing content, but if you'd like to have a kind of narrative, you want to build a map, you want to change a few things or add things in, there are a few limitations, but nothing major. Like I say, anyway, so we start here at this small farm. This plot is only about 37 grand, 36,000. So on farm management, start from scratch. It's not too expensive to buy. The slot count is the same on all 3 game modes. It's 1,056. So you start with all the same equipment and machinery. I bought the other farm, which we'll get to later on. You can remove all of the buildings. You can remove, actually it's come out of there, you can remove all of the buildings, all of the equipment, and all the decoration at both farms. Pro, massive pro, like that a lot. This farm will look like this. So that's a big tick. We like that. If we come back to the map, we start with this field here as well on New Farmer. This one here, this one here. I think we started one to the north as well, maybe a couple. I might have just been this one here. Just there in the village. Now, onto one of the cons, a small one. We can't buy, there's no verges periphery, so a lot of the village, a lot of the town, both parts you can't buy. There are a lot of plots around the map that you can't purchase, which I find a little bit frustrating. Not that you should be able to buy all of it, but again, I suppose it comes down to potentially once you start landscaping and tweaking and fiddle around, I suppose it can cause issues with the maps and those kind of things. But there's a couple of areas where when I got there, I thought, oh, this is awesome. And your brain starts going, oh, I could do this here. Oh, I could put that there. How cool would it be if I did this? But on areas where you can't buy the land, those things aren't possible. Again, you'll see when we get around there later on. Field prices, as you can imagine, vary from fairly small fields. They're all fairly narrow and long fields. There are some wider-ish fields. So you've got small, medium, and some large-ish ones. Nothing massive, but with the ability, as always, to be able to blend fields together, you can make some bigger fields if you want. There's one dedicated forestry area just here, but we do also have some plots like this one here, where you get some forestry around it as well. So you get the land and you get some forest around it, which is rather helpful. So what we're going to do is, we'll go straight around. I'm just trying to look at my notes and see, was there anything else I want to point out? Oh yeah, when I came on to do my sort of testing, wander around kind of thing, I got the slot count down to 930 by removing all the equipment and machinery, all the buildings here and all the buildings at the second farm, and it went down from 1,056 to 930. I mean, it's not high anyway, but like I say, there might be some of the elements you don't want. Sleep and wardrobe trigger here at the start farm. We have got a Farmer 400 silo. This is a base game silo, standard crop types. John Deere there with some of our start equipment. Go around the first yard. Got the Challenger tractor, harvester, header and header trailer. Garage space to the side here. Not a workshop, just garage space. Got a couple of gateway entrances in and out. We do start with a little bit of seed, which is quite helpful. And then around the side here, we've got a pig pen just there for 25 pigs. In the end of the garage just here, so I'll open these doors and we'll look through. We've got a fuel tank in there which can be refilled for your use, which is tucked away inside the building. Let's say all of this, including the decoration, can be removed. So what I'm going to do is grab the tractor. We're going to head out. Again, it's only kind of down to, I was just thinking if you're doing multiplayer and stuff like that, the village, the whole map is beautiful. It's incredibly well done. But I always kind of, my not rule of thumb, but one of those things I tend to check when I'm on a map like this is I will go and check gateways to see if they can be opened. And if they can't be opened, then the next thing is, okay, then maybe if you buy the land, you can open the gates, which is often the same with sheds and stuff like that. But again, like when you come back to it and zoom in, on some maps, you've got individual plots which can be purchased, which will give you sleep triggers and stuff at various different houses. But on this one, that's not the case. So it's something to be aware of. Some of these little plots I did buy up just to double check for any animal pens and stuff like that. I didn't come across any extra animal pens. That's not to say there aren't any, but I didn't come across any others. So, heading east. Like I say, I suppose this is the equivalent of a village green, really, but I really like it. We're going to turn up the next turning here. It does say there are hydrants. I don't know how many hydrants did it say there were? 5, maybe? There is a hydrant just there for getting water. But again, there are tons of modded water points and water pipes and stand pipes and stuff you can put in, but there are some on the map built in. If we come just up here, we have got Noah over there for a chat. Small sawmill, but also we've got the mini biomass, which is a cell point. So the biomass heating plants, mini cell point, and small sawmill here with Noah for a chat. If you want to have a chat with Noah, we come up around the back. Now, it's not showing on the map. It's always the thing I do now. I'll have a look on the map, check it out, try and work out a rough route round based upon where sell points and things are. And my initial response was, oh, that's not good, but it's okay, don't worry. Again, I'm being cryptic. Manure buy point, slurry buy point, animal dealer sell point just here for bale type stuff. There are a few fields and stuff around the map as well which do have cows and things in, which, as you know, I love that. I like a little bit of immersion on a map. And then Katie is just over here for a chat. Now on the map, Katie is showing, but the animal dealer sell point, or the animal dealer point, isn't. So if we come to the map here, I looked here and thought, well, there you go. On the map, manure and slurry point, animal dealer sell point, Katie, but there's not actually an animal dealer trigger. That's not going to be any good. We come over here, there it is. It's on the map, it's here. It's just not showing on the map, if you know what I mean. It's on in here, on real life, on the map, but not on the map. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. But this is going to be a, not bare bones, but it's one of those ones. It's difficult because often on maps you will drive round the map and see most of the map on the route round. There are some maps where that's not the case, and this is one of them. Because we've got the main village here, and we've got another part of the village here. What I am going to do, I'm going to come out of the village, and I'm going to go take a route this way. So you can see some of the countryside, because a lot of the map is here, and a lot of the map is up here. And there are no sell points, there's no productions, there's nothing up around here, a couple of trackways. So to take in the map and show you the main points on the map, the main sell points, farm, that kind of stuff, you don't get to necessarily experience the map. And this is one of those ones I think absolutely this is one you're going to come on and want to just have a drive around. And you'll see as we get a little bit further when we come out of the village, the way it's been done and put together. Actually, you know what, let's pull up here. I don't know if the pedestrian's going to get stuck or not, but we'll just see. So water point just there, electric charge point just here, lime station just here, grain mill sell point, not a production, just a sell point round the back here. Then we've got over in the far corner, we've got the farmer's market sell point. Doesn't look much like a farmer's market. Actually, that's curious. Oh, is that for the pallets? I'm just trying to think. We've got a warehouse just there. This is farmer's market. That could be for the sell point for pallets, maybe for farmer's market. It's not particularly clear, is it? Come across here, we've got dairy sell point again, not a production, just a sell point. Just here. And then here we've got our warehouse point, Now I thought the pallets would spawn here, so I'm thinking that hazard marked area might be to do with the farmer's market just over the back. But our warehouse point for buying of pallets is just here. Let's go back to the tractor. Yep, sorry about that. Should have gone into the actual facility itself. So like I say, I'm going to take a slightly different route. If I follow this road and go to the left and follow the sort of main drag, it will take me up to the next part of the village, but I want to take this route here. I love me a bumpy track. Again, no, you can't buy any of these separate little farms or buildings or anything, but it does add to the emotion. And got cows in the field out here as well. It makes the map feel lived in, makes it feel more alive. When we come across a little creek bed, it's kind of pretty much dried up. It doesn't say in the description whether at different times of the year, whether when you get rains and stuff, whether there will be water in that or not. But what I like as well, as you drive around, there are little ponds and lakes all over the place. And little bits like this, which I always say on a map tour, if it wasn't here you'd never know. But the fact it's been done and added in adds such an element to it. So you've got the pond here with kind of a blocking place in, I suppose, where the riverbed goes in. If it raises too high, it'll pour over the top of that, but it maintains the pond, which is quite cool. But again, it's a small feature. You wouldn't necessarily know was there if it... Well, you wouldn't know it was there if it wasn't there, of course you wouldn't. But it's, yeah, it's lovely. So let's head this way. Just to take in a bit of the countryside around the built-up areas. It's got a lovely sweeping landscape to it as well, north and south, which lends a very natural feel to the whole thing as well, I think. Now this bit here, I did double check and buy the land because I thought maybe that is another manure buy point. I bought the land, nothing came up as a trigger, so I think it's just there as a decorative item. Continuing along, as one does. I'm getting that yearn, that pull again. The Lake District pull. Not this is like the Lake District, but I just think, you know, that outdoorsy, countryside, open landscape, you know. But it's very cool. So next up, we've got the debris crusher, and this is the first really of the plots where I suddenly thought, oh, hang on a minute, and I went to double check, can I buy the land? Because what it looks like to me is like an old quarry. We've got a debris crusher just here, but there's a place in the UK, it's a adventure park type, you know, how do you refer to them? Theme park called Thorpe Park, and Thorpe Park was built on an old quarry site. And where all the old quarries are now lakes, and they do water skiing. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and this gives me that vibe. This is an old quarry that's now been filled in with water. Debris crusher is here, and my brain immediately went, "Oh wow, how cool if you could add in some extra kind of quarrying type stuff. Maybe pile some stones up, even if you put stones across the top of these piles." And with that new fill types mod, as we start to get more of those things available on console, I couldn't get anything to work with that. But if you could put out sand and gravel and, you know, stuff like that, you could set up yourself a real quarry, but you can't buy this plot. And there's another bit further up as we go as well. See the ground deformation as well as we're driving across here. That's really cool. Yeah, you can't buy it. So it's, you know, like I say, it's a real double-edged sword. It's such a phenomenal map and so well made, and the level of detail is incredible. But this might be one of those things I'm saying, like I said at the start, the pros and cons, and the cons are my personal feeling on it, because you might think, well, I would never do something like that. I would never want to build a quarry. I don't want to do anything with stones and rock, and I just want to do farming. In which case, let's say that's not a con for you, if indeed it's a con at all. I mean, it's just a statement, let's just say that. But regardless of that, it's incredibly well made and incredibly well done. So, heading up into Sobolewo itself, the main part where the signs and stuff are. So just to our left here, we've got carpentry production. Just here to our right. We've got the elevator sell point just there. We've got lime station in the corner just here. We've got a workshop trigger just there. And we've got the vehicle shop just over here. This is also the reset point for the map, so anything you might need to reset for whatever reason. You might be stuck in a tree, up a hedge, in a pond, whatever it might be. This is where you will reset back to. So from here, haven't pulled out on traffic yet. Wow, practically unheard of. We pull into the little lay-by just here, or bus stop actually, say lay-by. We have Ben here for a chat. Supermarket sell point is just around the corner here. And just a little bit further down the road there, David lives along there. If we check on the map, I will show you. So just down there is where David lives there. So we've just been past this bit. So we started off at the main farm here, went out there, sawmill and animal dealer, crossed the road there to that cluster of sell points in the warehouse. Then we took this little track here around, past this pond. Actually, I didn't buy that. Let me just double check that. Where are we? No, I suddenly thought if I missed an animal pen or something. No. Then we swung around the side here past this pond, then out here, all the way across here to the debris crusher, this big quarry area. We came up here, and this is what I'm saying. So there's all this all these sections of the map that need to be explored and looked at. Yeah, it's just really well made. And now we're here at this junction. So what we're going to do is go across the road. Now this one's a little bit, oh, there goes, another hydrant just here. So just across the road here on this corner is plot 64. This is a little bit more expensive than the 36 grand of the other one, because this one's going to set it back 802,032. Let's buy that, and we get our second farm. A much larger prospect. So let's grab our tractor. Check it behind us. We've got a fair bit coming. And turn in here. So to our left, we've got our sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. There is a garage as well for a car, pickup, whatever you want, just there. We've got a Karma 16 silo just here for our seed or mineral feed, if you want to put some in there. Fuel tank just there. Garage and storage space to the side here. Milk point for the cow barn is just there. I want to drive around the side of the cow barn. Again, what I like as well is it feels completely integrated. It's not a kind of, look, here's an open space with a farm plonked on it. It feels like it's grown up part of the area, you know? So, manure heap just there. I will close the gates later on, don't worry. Slurry point at the back of the building. Dialogue box here for 200 cows or water buffaloes in this pen here. Let's open this gate as well. We have a silage clamp just here. And then this one is a Farmer 800 silo, not a 400. So the first one's 400,000 litres. This is 800,000 litres. Again, standard crop types. They're not multi-fruit silos. They are base game ones. But very picturesque and nicely done. And again, with this one, we can sell everything. So you can sell the silage clamp, the silo, the cow barn, manure heap, the farmhouse, and if you click on one of the items, it comes up sell decoration. All the decoration can be sold as well. So if you want to put an entirely different farm on here, or you might want to remove individual elements, and it might be that the cow barn's not your taste. You might want to change it, let's just say that. Right, so open the gates. Let's wait for that car to go. It is shifting. Let's go. So heading north up towards the railway. We've got another one of those areas. Again, I looked across the left and thought, oh, is this one of the, is that like a placeables area? Sometimes you get a point where you buy it and you can go on, you can remove the decorative items, but it looks like it's another quarry area. Again, you can't purchase it, which is a real pity. Look at all that space. And again, I came on and thought, you know what, I've got to double check, because look at it. And there's nothing on the farmland. I can click on all the other items. It's just not available. That's a real pity. I was, you know, well, that's really cool. Anyway, same with this bit to the side there, because I thought, oh, is that an animal pen? Saw the fencing. Again, you can't purchase that bit to the side there. But I don't want that to be everyone's lasting, you know, they watch this whole map tour and go, oh, well, yeah, but he said. But look at the map. I mean, just look at the detail, look at the quality, the sweeping landscape, the beauty of it. And there's so much farmland for farming, which is what people, you know, people are saying, wow, we just want to do farming. We don't just want to move pallets around. There is so much to do here. And again, the detail of it, this is one of those maps I stopped about 5 or 6 times and thought, oh, that'll make a good thumbnail, that'll make a good thumbnail, that'll make a good thumbnail. Like this bit here, I stopped and thought, just the detail on that alone, with the bridge and the railway going off in the distance that way, with the farmland next to it, thought that looks fantastic, you know. Anyway, grain pool east, transfer silo. Putting in and out of the silo is done here. Then up on the tracks, just here, is in and out for the train. We have a rent train point just here. I haven't tried on this map actually to see if the train would even stop. I was just looking actually on the map. Sometimes if the train comes in, you can click on it and enter the vehicle. People are saying once the train comes on the map, just tab to it if you've got the tab to train thing. Yeah, switch to trains is on. And when the train comes on the map, I've tried tabbing between vehicles and I just don't seem to get anywhere. So yeah, I don't know with this whether it will stop or not. How far is it saying? 18.6 kilometres. Who knows, but there are ways to stop the train or get onto the train if you want to load it. Again, it's one of those tricky ones that if you take on a contract on the map and it says you need to deliver to, in this case, Zalonka, which is where the train goes to, you need to be able to stop the train, otherwise you can't fulfill that contract. So what I'm going to do now, just to give us again a bit of a feel for the map, going to come across this way again. The concrete plates, it's all those little details, all these little bits that add to the immersion of a map. Just follow the railway across the top of the map, heading west, and get another look at the sweep of the countryside as we go. But that in essence is the map. That's all of the sell points, that's all of the farm area bits, the train silo. The rest of it is all farmland for you to enjoy and immerse yourself in. Like I say, there's a few little pond areas here and there, and much more of the map to explore than I have shown on the map tour, which I think is always an exciting part of it. I like that on a map tour. I like exploring a new map. I like finding it out. And like with this, you know, it's that thing of, yes, you can look at a map top down, but when you actually get out on the ground, because so many people say to me, why don't you just do your map tours flying? Why don't you just do it in the air and show everyone in the air? I prefer this more immersive feel to it. I like that thing of coming over a brow of a hill and seeing the landscape spread out in front of you, or whatever it might be, you know. Again, I like that moment where you stop and think, wow, that would make, in real life, that would make a great photograph. That would be an amazing, you know, a view to take a picture of, or just to sit and watch the countryside and enjoy the view. You know, when you get a map like that, I have to say, I feel that the mist and stuff, those elements, I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it adds to that. You know, again, I came over here and you go to the brow of that hill, sit up on the top of that hill, looking over the little bit of, I keep saying Zalonka, Sobolewo. It adds to that, I think, personally. But anyway, that is the map. Sorry, I'm enjoying it. That's a good thing. So this is the road I was talking about. This will take me back towards the main farm once we're on it. So that's Sobolewo by Tomix. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.